Hi everyone, this is Abdul, and today I would like to persuade the audience on how social networking is affecting our relationships. Well, nowadays our devices are changing the way we relate and communicate to each other. And it's true that social networking is necessary for our lives because it may enhance time management skills, increase productivity or social interactions, and may even improve optimism and self-esteem as well as general knowledge. But however, social networking is causing antisocial behaviors, removing us from normal life structure, and has a tremendous effect not just on our health and our relationship, but also on how we communicate, speak, and write. And first of all, I would like to detail how social media plays a major role in reducing human interaction. And right now we're talking about public relations. Well, nowadays, social media is more and more changing to real life. It seems to subtly destroying the meaningfulness of interactions we have with others, also disconnecting us from the world around us and leading to a sense of isolation in today's society. Now, instead of spending time with our friends, we just chit chat, talk, and instant message them. Um, and that may seem simpler, but we ultimately end up seeing our friends face to face a lot less. Because nowadays, recently, we have more virtual friends than true ones. And having said that, people communicate increasingly on a daily basis through social platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, etc. And these tend to affect our face to face interactions. And that's the reason why many experts believe that social media makes us unsocial, which is true. And this doesn't just apply to our friends, it also applies to the world around us. And I think it should come as no surprise that face to face interaction is proven by studies to comfort and provide us with some important um, sense of well being. And secondly, I would like to talk about the effects of social media on how we speak and write. So, with a majority of young people using social media sites, it's no wonder that real world social lives are seeing some changes. Some parents, though, worry about a future of poor grammar and verbal text speak. Previously, where writing was once a solitary activity, it has now become a very social way to communicate with another person. Now we reach hundreds or thousands of people with a single post. We search for laptops, deals, with an eye to wireless connectivity, in order to stay connected and communicate with the audience at the moment. For example, LOL, LOL is now used to add a joke, um, and it doesn't always indicate literal laughter. And this is just one good example of how the internet and text shorthand is becoming a language all its own. And social media is definitely changing the way we communicate, but in many ways, I think it's for the better as we expand our social circles and explore new horizons through our online connections. And lastly, I'm gonna talk about loneliness and depressions, like how social media causes loneliness and depressions, those mental issues. So the notion that social media has a negative impact on our social well-being is now widespread. Teenagers and young adults, users who spend the most time on these social platforms, were shown to have a substantially higher rate of depression and anxiety than those who spend the least time. And having said that, the rise in depression is seen as evidence that the connection social media users perform electronically are less emotionally satisfying, leaving them socially isolated, and which is the case nowadays. For instance, image-driven Instagrams um, shows shows up in surveys as a platform that most of the young people um, uses to report feeling anxiety and depression and worries about body image. So kids who are spending more time on their devices are not getting much in their return to make them feel good about themselves. And some of the ways in which social media use impacts um, mood may be indirect. And having said that, one of the most common contributors to depression in teenagers is sleep deprivation, which can be caused by social media. So eventually, it's seen that social media has affected our relationships on a daily basis life, also how we speak and write, and eventually our mental issues. So we must encourage teenagers to be honest with themselves about how time spent on social media makes them feel disengaged from, let's say, interactions that increase unhappiness and stress. Thank you.